from bright and sunny Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks have returned home as they'll take on the Wareham Gatemen yet again here today in a double dip as the two squads will wrap up the season series. These two squared off last night out at Spillane Field over the bridge in Wareham, a game in which the hometown Gatemen took by a final score of 9-1. Hyannis trying to turn things around here at home in the orange and blue pinstripes today as they'll turn to Memphis product Landon Kelly on the hill, making his fourth appearance and first start of his summer. He'll take on a Wareham Gateman lineup pretty much identical from what we saw last night at Spillane. It looks like this. Braden Ward leads off and plays center field. Matt McLean following him up at third. Jacob Teeter over at first. Adrian Del Castillo batting in the cleanup spot. He'll do the DH duties. Dallas Beaver behind the plate batting fifth. Benjamin Sems at short. Matt Rudick out in right. And Zach Mathis at second with Mike Antico in left, rounding out the nine. So Braden Ward makes his way up to the left-handed batter's box. Draws something in the dirt and will step in against Landon Kelly, kicking some dirt around the mound. With the victory last night, Wareham enters the ballgame with 20 wins even on the summer, 20-17-1. Hyannis fell to 7-30-1. They're trying to turn the tide for themselves back here at McKeon Park today. Landon Kelly set atop the rubber into his windup, first pitch of the ballgame. Fastball outside. 2:58 p.m. the start time here in Hyannis. A few scattered clouds beyond the batter's eye in center field, but other than that, an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball. Kelly winds and delivers 1-0. Pitch out, or rather a called strike off the outside corner. A ball and a strike to Braden Ward. Ward last night picked up a couple of base hits. Raised his average up to 304. 1-1 from Kelly. Outside. Count moves to 2-1. 3 home runs and 20 RBIs for Braden Ward as well. And picked up 3 more last night. An RBI single, 2 RBI single that came back in the fourth and followed that up with another one in the fifth. 2-1 from Kelly. Breaking ball off speed. Ward goes over the top of it for strike 2. But Ward just more than just hit it at the top of this Gateman lineup. Flashes some speed on the base pads when he gets on, and he's done that time and time again this season. 24 stolen bags. Kelly's 2-2. Fastball upstairs. Count runs full. The Hyannis defense behind Kelly today looks like this. Left to right in the outfield, Trevor Hopper, Rowdy Jordan, and Rigsby Mosley. Same way around the infield, Jackson Olsen at third, Jordan Westberg at short, Lucas Dunn at second, with Ian Fair at first. Payoff pitch, tap foul right side. Now, Kelly has gone 7 1/3 innings of work so far in his summer. Struck out 6, walked 3, and has given up just 6 hits. And he's been solid in the Hyannis uniform so far. Late arrival on Cape Cod. Making his 4th appearance here as the next 3-2 comes into Ward. Tap foul again, straight back. So Ward right out of the gates putting up a tough fight against Kelly. Last time Kelly took the mound was July the 25th against the Bourne Braves. The next 3-2 upstairs, and he loses Ward for the leadoff walk. So Ward heads down to first to start the day for the Gatemen. That'll bring in Matt McLean, third baseman batting out of the number 2 spot. Wareham was able to draw their fair share of free passes last night. But they're a team that, over the course of the season, all told, has not been very patient. They're a team that likes to swing the bats. They're last in the league in walks drawn with just 114. They force Kelly to work from the stretch right away as Ward takes off for second. Goodman's throw down is going to take a hop and skip past the glove of Dunn into center field. No further advance for Ward, however, as he's in with a stolen bag. Make it 25 on the season.
Well, it was almost seemed automatic that they were going to send Ward. I mean, he draws the leadoff walk. He's the best base stealer, maybe the fastest player on Cape Cod. There was no hesitation to send him from first to second. Goodman got a good jump to his feet, but the throw was just a little bit low to Lucas Dunn.
Jerry Weinstein wasting no time pushing a runner up into scoring position. When you have a guy with the speed of Ward on the base pads, why not try and take a chance? Kelly comes home with a 1-0. Fastball picks up the inside corner. Matt McLean, a .299 hitter. 2 home runs and 21 RBIs for the UCLA third baseman. Seeing Landon Kelly for the first time with 1 on, nobody away. Just underway here from McKeon Park. It's a 1-1. Off speed, tails back in, catches the inside corner. 1-2 the count to McLean. So for Kelly, his last start against the Bourne Braves, a good one, although it was a 5-4 loss in the second game of a doubleheader out at Dorn Park. Kelly went an inning and a third, gave up just one hit and struck out two. Ward dancing out at second base. 1-2 offering from Kelly's up high. So this Wareham offense had struggled before last night in their last handful of ball games. They had hit just 238 over their last 10 prior to last night, but an outburst and put up 9 on the board. And were able to take the victory going away. Their fourth over Hyannis of the summer. Kelly's 2-2. Upstairs, foul tip back into the glove of Goodman, strike 3. Landon Kelly notches his first punch out of the day. Make that 7 on the summer. That'll bring in Jacob Teeter. Kelly able to go out of the zone and get McLean to offer at it. Got a piece to try and foul it off, but Goodman with a nice play to hold on behind the plate. Braden Ward still stands out at second as Teeter taking a moment outside the batter's box before digging in. Kelly out of the stretch, gets a sign, now comes home. First offering a breaking ball, good for a strike. So Jacob Teeter, a guy, wasn't expected to really open some eyes on Cape Cod this summer, but he's really made the most of his opportunity. A .293 hitter and a guy that leads the Wareham Gateman Ball Club in hits with 41 on the summer. Looks at an 0-1 off-speed delivery away from Kelly, a ball and a strike. He's been part of a Wareham offense that's first in the league in Cape Cod in hits with 349. They've just been racking them up in bunches, this Gateman Ball Club has. Those 349 hits have contributed to 191 runs crossing the plate. That's good for third as Ward got about halfway down the baseline before scampering back to second, catching the attention of Kelly as he steps off. Wareham, a playoff-bound ball club in the Western Division. Currently sitting at 41 points behind the Katuitt Kettleers and Falmouth Commodores. Kelly will look to second, now is 1-1. Breaking ball just a bit outside. And for the Commodores, winners of 11 straight. They've got another ball game today to try and make it 12. That Falmouth Ball Club, a team that Hyannis will see twice tomorrow at 2 separate locations. What a story that is. Ward still a modest lead at second. Westberg creeping in behind him as Kelly kicks and spins back toward him again. Looking him back to the bag. Ward really taking up some headspace from Kelly here in the first inning. Rightfully so. One of, if not the best base stealer on Cape Cod this summer. Teeter's in the box with a count of 2-1. As Kelly looks back to second. Now he'll step off again. Braden Ward's been scampering back and forth down that third baseline in between second and third. Jordan Westberg creeping in behind him, not holding him on, however. Teeter, 2-1 offering. Chopper back off the plate, but foul. Teeter went down to a knee. That one might have got a piece of him, but he broke his piece of lumber, so he'll go retrieve a new one. Count will be 2-2 when play resumes. Adrian Del Castillo awaiting on deck. Del Castillo was the catcher in last night's ball game, has switched to the DH for game 1 here today. Jerry Weinstein going with the same exact lineup that teed off against Hyannis last night, hoping for that same amount of success here today. One on, one out. Count of 2-2 to Teeter. Kelly looking for a second punch out. Memphis right-hander comes set, gives a look to second. Now double takes and comes home. Fastball, Teeter puts one on the ground to second base. Dunn plays it on a hop. He'll throw to first in time to get Teeter. Moving down to third on the play, Braden Ward. So Wareham has a runner 90 feet away with 2 down for Del Castillo. Kelly just able to induce some soft ground ball contact. No problem for Dunn. Had to range a couple steps to his left. That made a nice easy throw over to Ian Fair for the out. So Del Castillo steps in, a base hit away from picking up RBI number 21 of his summer. The .256 hitter. He sees Kelly for the first time. First pitch, breaking ball high. So Del Castillo, a catcher by trade, but of course being slotted in as a DH after catching in the ball game last night. 1-0 from Kelly. Fastball just below the knees, 2 balls, no strikes. And for Adrian, who plays his college ball at the University of Miami, 256 clip with 4 long balls. He put together a 3-game hit streak just a couple weeks back, July the 12th to the 16th. Kelly comes home with a 2-0. Big swing and a miss on a high fastball, 2-1. The top 4 in this Wareham lineup have all been key contributors to a Gateman club that's going back to the postseason after taking it all last summer. Kelly set, fires a 2-1, breaking ball outside. Del Castillo's worked himself into the driver's seat. Kelly's already surrendered 1 walk. That was to Braden Ward, who now stands at third. The 3-1 offering. Fastball picks up the outside corner, just barely, as Del Castillo gives a quick shake of the head as he steps out. Second full count that Kelly's worked with. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Right-hander trying to get the Hyannis bats to the plate in the bottom of the inning. The payoff pitch. Outside, strike 3 call. Got Del Castillo looking on a breaking pitch. Second strikeout of the day for Landon Kelly. He strides off the mound. Hyannis coming to the plate in the bottom of the first for their first cuts when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis comes to the plate in the bottom of the first inning in a tie ball game here from McKeon Park. The starter on the mound from Wake Forest today for the Gatemen is William Fleming, making his 9th appearance all told and his 4th start of the summer as Jordan Westberg steps in and takes a look at a fastball good for a strike 0-1. For Fleming, he's worked 21 in the third this summer, struck out 21, walked 6, giving up his fair share of hits with 31. So he is a guy that is not untouchable. Westberg swings and fouls off an 0-1 fastball out of play. And if you want to talk about untouchable, Hyannis knows that all too well after seeing Ian Bedell last night. He was absolutely marvelous, going 5 innings, 5 shutout innings at that. As an 0-2 to Westberg comes in. Fastball called strike 3 down and in. Fleming dropped in an off-speed pitch at the knees. Westberg didn't like it. He's back to the dugout for out number 1. First K right out of the gate for William Fleming, his 22nd of the summer. That'll bring in Ian Fair. Well, for Fleming, his last appearance came July the 19th against the Falmouth Commodores. As Fair swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. For Fleming, he went 3 1/3 in that contest. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 2. He's got a count of 0-1 here to Ian Fair as he gets a sign from his catcher, Dallas Beaver. Comes home. Fair swings, bloops one into right field. It's going to fall in front of Matt Rudick for a base hit. So Ian Fair just keeps continuing to swing the bat. That's now a 5-game hit streak for the Northeastern product as he reaches in his first plate appearance here in the first inning. That'll set the table for Trevor Hopper with 1 on, 1 out. Now, Ian Fair's really been a story as of late, quietly putting himself together a great summer. Hopper will take his cuts from the left side, seeing William Fleming for the first time. Bat above his left shoulder as Fleming comes home. Brushes Hopper back a bit with an inside fastball. It's 1-0. And for Ian Fair, a guy that was a vital piece of the Northeastern Husky squad in 2019. Hopper looks at a 1-0 breaking ball down and away. And of course, we talked about Fair getting a couple of stints with Hyannis this summer, the second one being much better. He's now put together hits in 5 straight games. He had a 2-hit performance July the 26th against the Whitecaps here at McKeon Park. 2-0 to Hopper. Fastball get me over right down central for a strike. Hopper trying to pick up the average for himself a little bit. Sits at 229 right now as Fleming picks over at first. Fair back standing. And for Hopper, he's alternated hits in his last 4 appearances. Trying to pick one up and get a rally started for Hyannis in their first inning as he sends one in the air to left. Moving over Antico toward the line. Back a couple steps, loses the sunglasses and makes the grab. Ian Fair back to the bag at first. Hopper's down for out number 2. Sent one fairly deep down the left field line, but no problem for Antico to range over and make the play. That'll bring in the big bat, Hunter Goodman. Now Hunter, of course, the RBI leader on Cape Cod with 35 this summer. Not an RBI spot right here as there's nobody in scoring position, but he does have Ian Fair over at first base. Fleming comes home. Hot shot down the third baseline, foul. And Fleming's made his way up to Cape Cod at a solid season at Wake Forest, an ERA of 4.26, 44 and a third innings pitched, struck out 31. That was in his sophomore season. Facing the Memphis Tiger, Goodman pops one up right side of the infield, drifting back on a Teeter and Mathis. It'll be the second baseman Mathis to range over and get under it to make the grab, and that ends the inning. Hunter Goodman just gets under a fastball, and Hyannis will strand 1. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left aboard. Still scores from McKeon Park. The Gateman coming back to the plate against Landon Kelly when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Wareham sends Dallas Beaver, Benjamin Sems, and Matt Rudick to the dish in the top of the second inning against Landon Kelly. Wareham left one aboard in the first inning. That was Braden Ward, who was stranded at third. And after that, Landon Kelly retired the side in order with a pair of strikeouts. He'll face Dallas Beaver, taking his cuts from the left side at off speed, misses high to start the inning. And Landon Kelly back here for inning number 2. Into his motion, 1-0 pitch. Fastball Beaver crushes this one to right field, sending Mosley back toward the wall. He looks up, and that one's out of here. Kiss it goodbye. Dallas Beaver with his second home run of the summer, and RBI number 12 gets Wareham on the board to start the second inning with a bang. It's 1-0 here from McKeon Park.
That ball was torched. I mean, that ball got out of sight over the line of trees. Beaver absolutely obliterated it, like you said. And Rigsby Mosley couldn't do much but give a couple courtesy steps and watch. Just turns on that inside fastball and sends it way over the right field fence.
Now, Dallas Beaver had come into this game with hits in 3 of his last 4. He can make that 4 of his last 5 now as Benjamin Sems steps in and watches a breaking ball run away. That ball was absolutely torched out of here in a hurry. 1-0 comes in, chopper up the right side. That'll drift foul, Doherty and Fair down the first base line. So Dallas Beaver launches his second home run of the summer. He was already a .306 hitter coming in. Swap positions with Adrian Del Castillo as Beaver served as a DH last night. Del Castillo was the backstop at Spillane. Beaver being in the lineup today for Jerry Weinstein, paying immediate dividends. First hit of the game for the Gateman was a large one. Kelly fires a 1-1 off speed up high, 2-1 the count. So it's no secret that Wareham hits and hits a lot. Benjamin Sems, no stranger to that either, as Kelly's 2-1 offering, good for a strike off the outer part of the plate. Sems put together a 5-game hit streak to start the season. Didn't get his first appearance until June the 12th, but that streak went all the way till June the 19th. Sems inside-out swing pops one up to shallow left. Coming on Trevor Hauver, back to shortstop Westberg. It'll be the Mississippi State Bulldog to make the grab for out number 1. That'll bring in Matt Rudick. Nobody on, 1 down. Wareham on top, 1-0 if you're just joining us here in the top of the second from McKeon. Brendan Howe, Lyle Goldstein here with you, bringing you through all the action in this doubleheader. And today from McKeon Park, the Gatemen and the Harbor Hawks wrapping up the season series. Wareham on top 4-0 in 2019. Kelly into his motion, first pitch, bouncer ball right back to him. Puts the glove up, cuts off some distance to first, flip to Fair in time for out number 2. So Matt Rudick put one on the ground, took a hop right into the glove of Kelly on top of the hill. Took it over to first base in an easy flip. That'll bring in Zach Mathis. Mathis making a slow stride up to the plate. Small sample size for the Wareham second baseman today. Just a 125 hitter. But prior to last night, had just 3 at-bats. It was a 1-for-4 day for him last night as he looks at a breaking ball down and in. Mike Antico waits on deck, hoping for a chance here in the second inning. Hyannis infield playing back with nobody aboard. Kelly's 1-0 pitch. Mathis crushes this one to right. Mosley back there at the wall, still going back. He looks up, leaps, and it's gone. Zach Mathis, just like that, puts one over the wall. A wall scraper, but it gets the job done all the same. Mosley gave a leap at the end, but Zach Mathis making the trot around the bases with his first long ball of the season. RBI number 2, and Landon Kelly has been beat twice in this inning for a home run. First one came from Dallas Beaver, this one from Zach Mathis. Off the bat, I wasn't sure that one was going to have enough to get out, Lyle, but just kept carrying.
Well, it just kept carrying, and it looked like Rigsby Mosley timed it up perfectly to make the grab, but maybe just a little bit out of his reach.
When Mike Antico steps in, he rips this one down the left field line, but foul toward the Hyannis pen. I'm not sure even Mathis knew that one had enough to get out. He kind of stopped out of the box, and not sure he knew where he hit it, but sent Mosley back toward the wall, who's now playing fairly deep out there. The left-handed hitting Antico swears to bunt, but pulls back. A called strike anyway. No balls and 2 strikes. Wareham featuring 8 lefties in the lineup again. The only right-handed hitter, Matt McLean, batting out of the number 2 spot, the third baseman for the Gatemen today. Kelly 1 strike away from working out of the inning, but he misses with a fastball outside as he pushed it off the plate too far. Zach Mathis able to make his first trip around the bases this summer. Puts the Gatemen on top 2-0 here in the second. Antico puts one on the ground to second. Dunn over to get it a few steps. He'll throw to first in time to end the inning. But the Gatemen strike for a couple of solo shots, one from Dallas Beaver and one from Zach Mathis. It's the Gatemen 2, the Harbor Hawks nothing. The hometown team coming back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jared DeSangelo, Lucas Dunn, and Rigsby Mosley, the three set to come to the plate against Wake Forest starter William Fleming, who now sits with a bit of a cushion after 2 solo shots from his Gateman teammates, Dallas Beaver and Zach Mathis. Doing some damage to Hyannis starter Landon Kelly for a couple solo shots. Mathis deposited his first of the summer. For Dallas Beaver, it was his second. The Gateman offense picking up right where they left off last night as DeSangelo takes a look at a fastball low and in. Those are the first 2 hits of the day off Landon Kelly for these Gatemen. DeSangelo swings at a 1-0. Bounding ball foul down the right side. And for Jared, was featured at third base last night. Jackson Olsen came in to pinch hit for him later on in the ball game, but Jared back in the lineup as the DH today. Fleming brings the left foot behind the right, comes home as DeSangelo swings and puts one on the ground to first. Flip to the covering pitcher Fleming at the bag in time to get DeSangelo. Jacob Teeter moving over a couple steps to his right, played it on a hop. Fleming showing some nice agility getting off the mound to retire DeSangelo. They'll bring in Lucas Dunn with one down. Now Lucas, Louisville Cardinal, didn't see any playing time last night. Back in the lineup here today. First pitch from Fleming. Fastball outside. Now Dunn's been a .226 hitter with Hyannis this summer, making his return to the elbow of Massachusetts off a trip to Team USA. Fleming fires a 1-0. Breaking ball inside. Backs Dunn out of the box a bit. Hyannis looking for their second hit of the day off of the starter Fleming. Fair had the first one. Just a bloop single to ride back in the first. 2-0 comes in. Swing and a miss. Count moves to 2-1. Lucas Dunn, one of 3 members from the Harbor Hawks squad in 2019 to make the trek out to Team USA as he swings and lines one back to the pitcher in and out of the glove of Fleming. Off the mound to get it. He recovers nicely, though, and flips to first for the out. So DeSangelo grounded into a 3-1 putout. This time a 1-3 putout. So a quick 2 up and 2 down for Fleming, who's cruising through the second inning. I'll bring in Rigsby Mosley. Well, just to cap off the Team USA topic for a second, Tanner Allen, a Mississippi State Bulldog member making the trip to Team USA, was not featured in a Hyannis uniform this summer. Mosley swings and pops one out of play. Along with Nick Lofton, the Baylor Bear, who was here for a short time. Ultimately was called to don the red, white, and blue this summer. Fleming's got a count of 0-1 on Mosley. Comes home out of the windup. Fastball misses wide. Rigsby trying to jumpstart a 2-out rally here in the second inning. Left-handed hitter Jackson Olsen on deck as the 1-1 comes in. Mosley pops one up into shallow center, drifting back to shortstop. Semsey reaches up and makes the catch on the run. That's a fine play by Benjamin Sems, ranging back into center. Makes the snow cone grab over the bill of the cap, and that ends the inning. William Fleming works a 1-2-3 frame, keeps Hyannis off the boards. Gateman still on top 2-0 from McKeon Park. We'll return for the third on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Wareham set to send the top of the order up to the plate in the top of the third inning. Gateman lead at 2-0 here from McKeon Park on the road. Game 5 of the season series between these two. Again, a doubleheader from McKeon Park today. Both of these games set for 7 innings. Landon Kelly returns back to the hill for inning number 3 of work. Braden Ward steps in. First pitch from Kelly. Fastball high, ball 1. And Braden Ward's been aboard once today. Drew a walk in the first inning and swiped a bag number 25 of his summer. He has really got the wheels on the base pads and a dangerous guy when he gets aboard. Kelly's 1-0. Big looping breaking ball, not much bite to it. Stayed up high, 2-0. Now, Kelly's been burnt twice. Just a couple of solo shots. Fortunate that more damage wasn't done by this Gateman team. But Ward stands in with a 2-0 count. Another breaking ball misses away. 3 balls and no strikes. Kelly working away from the leadoff man, Braden Ward, at the dish. Gateman center fielder well in the driver's seat on 3. Pitch from Kelly. Fastball good for a strike on the outside corner, painting the black. 3-1 as Ward resets outside the batter's box. He'll step back in with Matt McLean and Jacob Teeter set to follow him. The pitch in the air to left. Hopper coming in a few steps. He'll line it up and make the grab for out number 1. No, not much problem for Braden Ward. Got some good wood on it. But Trevor Hopper, an easy play to come in to make the play. Come in and grab it for the out, rather. That'll send up the lone right-handed bat in the lineup, Matt McLean. Nobody on, 1 aboard, top of the third. Gateman with a 2 spot in the second inning, looking to add on. Kelly's first pitch, breaking ball. Picks out a spot at the bottom of the zone called strike 0-1. McLean, one of 2 strikeout victims so far for Kelly in the ballgame to this point. This Memphis Tiger winds and delivers. Another off speed. That one misses outside. Count evens a ball and a strike. Now, Kelly was a guy that in 19 appearances with the Memphis Tigers in 2019 was able to keep the ball in the yard. So he fires a 1-1 inside. That one runs in and gets the hitter McLean. Now, he'll be awarded first on the hit by pitch. That's just the second free pass that Kelly's given away today. We'll bring in Jacob Teeter. Man on and 1 down.
Yeah, that fastball just ran a little bit inside. McLean's going to draw his first walk. Just didn't Didn't have to do much about it either. It just kind of got off the top of the jersey a little bit. Didn't even look like it caught a piece of the body. Just kind of brushed the front jersey piece on the elbow.
So Jacob Teeter climbs in from the left side, 0 for 1. McLean aboard after the hit by pitch. A check on him at first. Back in head first safely. So Kelly, for the most part at Memphis, was able to keep the ball in the yard. Gave up just 4 home runs all season. He's already given up half that total here today at McKeon. Working from the stretch, first offering to Teeter. Fastball low and away, a called strike. And Kelly only gave up 17 extra base hits as a Memphis Tiger. Gave up 56 total in 42 2/3. Racked up a record of 2-3 with an ERA of 5.7 as a starting to stop at first. Back pick to the bag, not in time. McLean just able to sneak the hand back to the corner of the bag. McLean got a rather large secondary lead, and Goodman realized it, fired down to first. Attack from fair applied, not in time. Count 1-1 to Jacob Teeter as Kelly comes set. Gets a sign, now comes home. Teeter gets one off the end of the bat, foul to the left side. So for Landon Kelly, a guy that was trying to follow up a good performance against the Bourne Braves at Doran Park. He's kept the damage to a relative minimum to this point. Facing the heart of the Gateman order right now with just one out here in the third. Comes home with a 1-2. Starting to stop at first from McLean. Breaking ball downstairs. And again, Teeter, a guy 0 for 1 to this point, but a bat that leads Wareham in hits this season. He has come through in the clutch for this Gateman squad time and time again. Kelly said he'll take a step off. McLean back to the bag at first. Small crowd on hand here for game 1. First pitch just before 3 o'clock as Kelly checks on first again. Back in standing the runner McLean. Not much of a breeze blowing across the ballpark. It is bright and sunny. Temperatures residing around 80 degrees. Kelly another check on first. McLean getting dirty this time. Count still 2-2 to Teeter. Kelly's been really careful with the top 2 men in the Gateman lineup when they've gotten aboard. Checked on Ward a couple of times, and now it's Matt McLean. Kelly set the pitch. Teeter on the ground to third. Olsen slides to knocks it down. Throw across the diamond's not going to be in time as both runners are going to be safe. McLean up to second. Teeter aboard at first. Olsen with a nice effort to get a glove on it. That saved a base hit into left field, but still doing the job all the same as Teeter's aboard at first.
And it looked like he had a chance to make a diving stop as well. Of course, would have been a tough play to begin with. But it took that funny hop on him as it hopped onto the dirt of the infield, and it just kind of skipped into left field, or didn't skip into left field, but skipped off his glove a little bit as a result.
That'll be Adrian Del Castillo. Went 2 on and just 1 out. Double plays in order. Jordan Westberg and Lucas Dunn shaded toward the bag at second a bit. Both the corner infielders playing a bit behind their respective bags as Del Castillo sends one in the air to fairly deep left. However, backpedaling, he'll make the grab. There's 2 away as Del Castillo goes down for the second time this afternoon. Now, Landon Kelly, fortunate to induce some soft fly ball contact. No problem for Hopper again, who's been fairly busy out there in left. Been a couple of plays in this frame. That'll bring up Dallas Beaver. As one of the 3 hits on the board. One of them being a solo shot. He'll step in for the second time. And Landon Kelly will be certain to be a bit more careful this time around. Matt McLean in scoring position at second. Jacob Teeter, the runner, 90 feet behind him over at first. Kelly's first offering. Breaking ball outside corner, called strike. Hyannis trying to keep the Gateman off the boards. The fourth and fifth innings last night at Spillane Field were the longest two of the ball game. Wareham sent 9 and 10 men to the plate in each of the respective innings. A one from Kelly. Breaking ball slapped down the first baseline, foul toward the Gateman pen. Adrian Del Castillo came to bat twice in that fifth inning which the Gatemen pushed across 4 runs on 4 hits, and they stranded the bases loaded. Right now, Kelly's got a count of 0-2 on Beaver, who stands in from the left side. A look to second, lifts the leg and fires home. Fastball upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes to Beaver. Trying to push across the third run of the ball game for Wareham to this point. Kelly stares down at Goodman for a sign. He's got one he likes. Brings the glove set to the chest. Slide step home on 1-2. Bounding ball off the knob of the bat. Goodman behind the plate to get it. High throw to first, but snagged by Fair as he went up the ladder to go get that one, and that ends the inning. Scary for a moment, but Ian Fair helps out his teammate Hunter Goodman on the throw to end the inning. Wareham strands 2 in the frame. They put together 1 hit and a free pass as well. When it's still 2-0 Gateman, the Harbor Hawks coming back to the plate in the bottom of the inning on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Eight, 9, and 1 coming to the plate for Hyannis in the bottom of the third. Trailing things 2-0 here at home as Jackson Olsen steps in to lead things off against William Fleming. And William Fleming has been very, very solid, giving up just 1 hit for this Harbor Hawks squad to this point as he fires in a fastball to start the inning. Good for a strike, 0-1. Olsen comes into play today, a .238 hitter. No home runs, 6 RBIs. Made a pinch hit appearance last night and then subbed in defensively at third base for Jared DeSantolo. Sends this one down the right field line. That's going to fall fair for a base hit and roll to the wall. Olsen around first. He's thinking 2. He's going to cruise into the bag, no problem, as the throw comes back into the infield to the shortstop, Sems. And a leadoff double for Jackson Olsen. Make that hits in 4 of his last 5 contests.
And he's had a really nice week. He's hitting 300 for the week entering today's play. And then for Olsen, that's double number 3 and extra base hit number 3 of his summer as he just shoots that one down the right field line. Right fielder Rudick not really having much of a chance at it.
So Olsen puts himself in scoring position right away to start things off for Hyannis, trying to strike back against these Gatemen here at home. This will be Rowdy Jordan stepping in now. First pitch from Fleming. Fastball runs outside, 1-0. Rowdy, a .136 hitter. It's been a rough go of it for him as of late. He's picked up a couple of hits in his last 3 games. Chance to pick up RBI number 4 with Jackson Olsen 180 feet away. 1-0. Foul tip back into the glove of Beaver behind the plate. Ball and a strike to the Mississippi State Bulldog. And for Jackson Olsen, that double to start the inning could prove to go a long way for Hyannis in a rally back in this game. Jackson had 13 of those in his school season at Hartford. So 1-1 fastball runs downstairs, 2-1. That number of 13 in 2019 for the Hartford Ball Club, one behind his career high of 14 that he set just the previous year in 2018. Jordan holds the bat pointed out toward Fleming for a second, now gets back into his stance. Right-hander looks at Olsen at second, now comes home. Fastball outside, 3-1. And for Jackson, 38 career extra base hits at Hartford. Back-to-back years, he's hit over 300. Set himself a nice collegiate career and really made a name for himself here on Cape Cod with Hyannis as of late. As Jordan swings and pops up the 3-1 in foul ground. Beaver loses the mask behind the dish, and he'll go get it in foul ground. That's a tough play, ranging over to his right toward the gateman dugout. He hangs on to make the play. So Jordan goes down for out number one, and that's a tough one for him. Just pop one up the elevator shaft, and that'll turn things over to Jordan Westberg. So as Jordan steps in, he's 0 for 1. Came into action as a .329 hitter and has been one of the key contributors at the top of this Hyannis lineup since his arrival. First pitch from Fleming, fastball inside, but a called strike. Westberg not exactly too pleased as he steps out and looks at Chad Gassman. Hyannis 1-9 in their last 10 games as Jordan puts one on the ground to short. Stems up with a glove side throw to first is wide. Takes the first baseman Teeter off the bag, and everyone's going to be safe. Olsen over to third. Jordan Westberg finds himself aboard for the first time off the E6. Hyannis with 2 aboard and just 1 out for Ian Fair. Harborhawks kind of lucking out a little bit there. Seb's usually sure-handed over there at short. Made a couple nice plays last night. Right there, perhaps trying to throw before he had full possession of the baseball in his hand and pulls Teeter off the bag a bit. Westberg able to reach. Olsen slides up 90 feet. Provides Fair an RBI opportunity as the first pitch comes in low and outside. Beaver out of the crouch to get it. A ball and no strikes. Wind starting to sweep over the ballpark here at McKeon, blowing out toward right center. Fair's already 1 for 1. He had a single back in the first to right. 1-0 from Fleming. Fair swings and chops it foul as it dribbles off toward the gateman dugout. That one got a piece of Beaver behind the plate. Takes a stroll back into foul ground to shake things out. Home plate umpire Ed McAvin walking a new baseball out to Fleming to give Beaver some time to recuperate. Fair trying to ignite a Hyannis rally and pick up his second hit. That would give way to Trevor Hopper, who's loosening up on deck. Fair back into his stance from the right side as Fleming comes set, spinning a hard throw back to first base. In head first, Jordan Westberg. Some slight action down in the Hyannis bullpen. Looks like Connor Ash is getting loose down there, but throwing the opposite way toward the left field fence as a fastball comes into Fair, called strike at the knees. And Ash may not be planning on coming in the game, just trying to stay busy down there. 1-2 to Fair. Fastball blooping into right field, but right at Brudick as he moves over a couple steps to make the grab. Tagging from third, coming home, Jackson Olsen. He'll come in to score. Now Hyannis puts up a run on the board and cuts the Gateman lead in half. It's 2-1. Ian Fair, a sac fly, does the job to right, picks up RBI number 6 of the summer. As Trevor Hopper steps in with 2 down. That's just a good piece of hitting from Ian Fair. He's shown the ability to go opposite field quite a bit this summer. Right there, getting one just deep enough. Rudick had to make the play, sliding to his right. Made the catch on the run. His first pitch to Hopper, breaking ball down and in. Ian Fair, even when he's not picking up base hits, still finding ways to be productive. That's what Trevor Hopper's trying to do right here as he stands in from the left side. As a pick back to Westberg at first, not in time. 1-0 the count to the left-handed hitting Sun Devil. However, waves the bat through the zone a couple times now, watches a 1-0 fastball run outside. Trevor put together a .333 average in his school season with Arizona State. He's come up here on Cape Cod and struggled a bit, but has come through with a couple of base knocks here and there as a 2-0 comes in. Fastball called strike. Averaged just one long ball in the summer after hitting 13 with Arizona State last season. That one notching him 4 RBIs. It was a grand slam at Gov Fuller as he punches one on the ground to second. And it's going to get through the wickets of Mathis at second. Going first to third is the runner Jordan Westberg. He'll get there safely as the throw skips away from McLean for a moment, but recovered in foul ground as Hauber's now going to scamper up to second on the play. A couple of mishaps from the Gateman defense as Mathis had to range over, didn't get the glove down all the way to the dirt to field the grounder from Hauber. That'll be ruled an E4 as both runners will get into scoring position. Jordan Westberg was off with the pitch, and that allowed him to get to third base. Now, Hyannis locking out a little bit, and who better to have at the plate than this man right now, the Memphis Tiger, Hunter Goodman. Hunter's 0 for 1, but a chance to change that and perhaps give Hyannis the lead if he can find some green outfield grass. Taking his cuts on the right side, bat wiggling above his shoulder, takes the fastball outside. Now, Fleming has worked himself into his first bit of trouble against Hyannis here in the third inning. Second time through the Hyannis order. Goodman trying to come up big for the Harbor Hawks as the pitch comes in. Fly ball to center field. Sending back Ward a couple steps toward the track. He makes the catch on the back pedal to end the inning. Now, Goodman got a solid piece of wood on it, but no problem for Ward to range back and make the grab to end the frame. Hyannis puts up 1 hit in the inning, but they strand 2. And the errors from the Wareham Gateman defense don't come back to haunt them. Hyannis able to cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. We'll go to the fourth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Benjamin Sems comes to the plate to lead off action on the top of the fourth. And then Kelly back for more as first pitch of the inning. Sems sent it foul down the right field line, count of 0-1. And for Kelly so far, he's given up 2 runs on 3 hits. Sems stands in for the second time. He's 0 for 1 in his afternoon. Watches an off-speed pitch, catch the bottom of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Kelly's picked up 2 punch-outs in the game so far and in search of his third right here against Sems. From his windup, fastball high. Hyannis was able to push one across on a sac fly from Ian Fair. That was RBI number 6 of the summer for the Northeastern Husky. Kelly's 1-2 offering. Fastball called strike 3 in the outside corner. Sems of the word for home plate umpire Ed McEvan on the way by. Not happy with that call. And he's rung up for the third strikeout of the day for Landon Kelly. First out of the fourth. I'll bring in Matt Rudick. Kelly able to paint the outside corner with a fastball and pick up the punch out. Rudick steps in 0 for 1. First pitch from Kelly outside. Trying to sneak a heater on the outside corner again. Just push it a bit too far out. Kelly brings the black glove in front of his face. From his motion, comes home with a high fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. And for Rudick this season, put together 2 hits in 3 straight games from July the 19th to July the 23rd. Kelly fires a 2-0 breaking ball in for a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Rudick today 0 for 1. Sent a hot shot back to the mound. Kelly was able to knock it down and recover. Nobody on, 1 out. 2-1 pitch to Rudick. Fastball outside, a called strike to pull the count even. Kelly's featured a lot of off-speed stuff here in this game against the Gatemen. He's missed over the plate a couple of times, and he got beat twice. Dallas Beaver and Zach Mathis both going yard as the 2-2's outside. Once again, this contest only 7 innings. Game 1 of a doubleheader here. Wrapping up the season series in 2019 as a breaking ball runs inside. Looks like that might have gotten a piece of Rudick. But nonetheless, third free pass given up by Landon Kelly. Rudick heads down to first. Wareham's got a base runner on with 1 down. That'll bring in Zach Mathis. He's perhaps been the man of the hour. Sharing that title with Zach Beaver, or Dallas Beaver rather, but Mathis launched his first home run of the summer. It's been a short stay with the Gatemen, but Mathis trying to prove himself on the bottom of the order for Jerry Weinstein's ball club. He turned some eyes earlier on with a wall scraper home run that just got over the outstretched glove of Rigsby Mosley. Kelly turns and throws back to first, in standing the runner Rudick. Wareham's a team that can do that to you. A lot of guys in the lineup that can swing the bat and swing it quite well. Of course, the top of the order, we know what they can do. They've shown how well they can swing their pieces of lumber as throw back to first in, not in time. Rudick diving head first. So Wareham Ball Club not only first in hits, but first in batting average of 279. A team that can hit for power and average whenever they need to in respective spots as Kelly fires a fastball, picks up the outside corner. And of course, not an offense that can just swing the bats. They can beat you in more ways than one, especially on the base paths. Second on Cape Cod and stolen bases. Another check on first in safely, Matt Rudick. 60 stolen bases on the season. Of course, a large part of that, Braden Ward, makes up a huge chunk of that number. Rudick a rather short lead now off of first. Kelly gives a peek over the shoulder, comes home. Fastball down. Count 1-1. Some loose stretching starting to go on down the left field line in the Hyannis pen. Relatively calm on the other side of the field down the right field line for the Gatemen. 2-1 the score here in the top of the 4th inning. Kelly set the pitch. Fastball in the air to right center. Jordan back after it toward the track, ranging to his left. He'll make the grab for out number 2. Back to the bag at first, Matt Rudick. That'll bring in the number 9 man, Mike Antico. So Antico will make his way up to the box. He's 0 for 1. Bounced one to second base his first time around. That came back in the fourth inning. Two teams have alternated runs and frames. Wareham putting up 2 in the second. Hyannis answered back in the bottom of the third with 1. That's where the score stands currently. As Kelly comes home with an off-speed delivery, picks up the outside black 0-1. Rudick waves the bat through the zone a couple times as Kelly gets a sign from Goodman. Spinning a fire back to first. Tag applied by Fair, not in time. These gatemen certainly getting their uniforms dirty on the base pads. Kelly making sure these runners don't get too comfortable. Trying to wiggle his way out of the fourth inning. He comes home with an 0-1. Fastball outside. And for Antico last night, a 1-for-2 day. Drew a couple of free passes as well. Also struck out in the seventh inning. Kelly set with a 1-1. Fastball down. 2 balls and a strike. Kelly surrendered 3 free passes today. 2 away by hit by pitch. Just 1 walk. That was to Braden Ward to lead off the ball game. That's the man who waits on deck. And a guy that Landon Kelly certainly does not want to see. He represents the top of the gateman order. The 2-1. Off speed, foul tipped at the plate off the leg guard of Goodman. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Kelly's put himself in a spot 1 strike away from working out of things. He's picked up 3 punch outs. Would love a 4th right here. Deuce is wild in the top of the inning. 2-1 the score here from McKeon Park. Antico adjusts the helmet as he brings the bat over the plate a couple times, now into his stance. Kelly's 2-2. In the air to right, sending Mosley back toward the track, shading the sun a bit with his hand, and it misses the ball. Or rather, that one's going to one-hop the fence as Mosley scoops it up and throws it back in. The throw from the second baseman down to the plate is not going to be in time as sliding in safely Matt Rudick. That stretches the gateman lead out to 2. It's 3-1. And Mike Antico giving one a ride, picks up an RBI double. That sent Mosley back to the wall by the Coca-Cola sign. He was trying to shade the sun that's peering over the ballpark today and unable to do it, and just the ball escaping his outstretched glove. One hop the wall, and cruising all the way from first base was Matt Rudick in to score. That makes it 3-1 here from McKean, the 4th hit of the day for the Wareham Gatemen. That would have been a tough play for Mosley. That could have ended the inning, but instead it's another runner in scoring position for Braden Ward in the top of the order. So Kelly being forced to sweat a little bit more out there as he pumps in a breaking ball in for a strike to Ward 0-1. Ward flew out to left in his most recent plate appearance in the third. Landon Kelly not out of the woods just yet. Spinning a look back to second before an 0-1. This Gateman ball club has had a few prolonged innings against Hyannis over the course of the past couple games. Prior to last night, they had put up double digits against Hyannis in each of the first 3 contests as an 0-1 is dribbled foul off to the right, 0-2. Wareham's outscored Hyannis this season 43-17. Rather, you can put that 46-18 now. The 3-1 score here in the 4th inning. Ward down on the count 0-2. The pitch from Kelly. Fastball down, a ball and 2 strikes. Another doubleheader for Hyannis coming up tomorrow against Falmouth, and they'll end the season with a home-and-home series against the YD Red Sox, who they've seen twice so far on July the 3rd and 4th. 1-2. Fastball jackknives Ward off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ward, a guy trying to put the hurt on Hyannis yet again at the top of the order. Another runner in scoring position for the Gatemen. That's Mike Antico who stands out there. 4 hits in his last 9 games for the Gateman left fielder. 180 feet away from the 4th run of the ball game for the Gateman. 2-2. Fastball swing and a miss into the dirt. Goodman out of his crouch to get it down the third baseline. Fired a fair at first in time to get him. That completes the 4th strikeout of the game for Landon Kelly. This one works him out of some more trouble here in the 4th inning, but Wareham able to push across one more. They stretch the lead out to 2-3-1. Hyannis back to the plate when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
To the bottom of the 4th we go from McKeon Park in Hyannis. Harbor Hawks will send up Jared DeSantillo, Lucas Dunn, and Rigsby Mosley. 5, 6, 7 in the order to face the right-hander Will Fleming. Will's worked 3 scoreless to this point. The right-hander from Wake Forest puts the glove over the face. He's adjusting that ball inside his glove as he fires home. Fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes. 3-1 Gateman the score here from McKeon Park. Jerry Weinstein's squad put up 2 in the 2nd off 2 solo shots and then an RBI double in the 4th. DeSantillo swings and misses through a Fleming offering. It's 1-1. Harbor Hawks with just 2 hits so far today. One came from Ian Fair, another from Jackson Olson. As DeSantillo steps out of the box, he looks down the barrel of his bat and digs back into the left side. The windup in the 1-1. Popped up on the infield, backing up the shortstop Sems a bit to his left. He's on the outfield grass, and he makes the grab. 1 away, DeSantillo retired. That'll bring up right-handed hitting Lucas Dunn from Louisville. Fleming hasn't given up a hit since the 3rd inning. That was the Jackson Olson double down the right field line. That was 7 batters ago at that. Dunn, the right-hander, waving the bat above his shoulder as he watches a heater low and away. Lucas Dunn grounded out to the pitcher back in his first at-bat. He shot one right back up at Will Fleming, who knocked it down with his glove and then made the play and fired over to Jacob Teeter at first. Right-hander puts the arms over the head, fires home out of the windup. It's a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Dunn hitting just .219 in a Harbor Hawk uniform. He's looking to put together a couple hits and get things going here in the 4th. Pitch, swing and a miss. Will Fleming's had that fastball working today. He's at 1-2 with 1 out. Only the 1 strikeout, however. Punched out Jordan Westberg looking to begin the ball game in the bottom of the 1st. The 1-2, fastball away. Landon Kelly for Hyannis, meanwhile, has 4 punch-outs, although he's given up 3 runs in 4 innings thus far. Infield back, everybody playing straight up. The 2-2, breaking ball, strike 3 call. Lucas Dunn frozen by a breaking ball from the righty Will Fleming, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th for Rigsby Mosley. So first 2 hitters retired pretty easily. DeSantillo a weak pop up to short, and then Dunn frozen on a looking strikeout. Mosley the hitter from the left side. Pitch, ground ball out to 3rd, chopped down the line. It's going to hook just foul. Rigsby Mosley got that one off the end of the bat. Just kind of knobbed it toward the 3rd base pillow, but it shifted just to the left. Mosley on the summer hitting .224. As Fleming, the righty, comes home, fly ball crushed down the right field line. It's going to hook just foul. Rigsby just a little bit out in front of that one. He pieced it up for sure. just hooked to the right of the foul pole and got up into the trees. Fleming now back on the mound. He's got a new baseball. Peers over the glove. Now fires the 0-1. Fastball up high. Will Fleming, a guy who was primarily a reliever at Wake Forest. 28 appearances, just one start. As the righty rocks and fires the 1-2. Misses outside and the count levels. 4.26 ERA, and he racked up 9 saves. So he's the primary closer for the Demon Deacons. But he's starting here today for the Gatemen as he comes home with the 2-2. Strike 3 call. Paints a fastball on the outside corner to make it back-to-back strikeouts for the right-hander. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the 5th. It's Wareham 3, Hyannis 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 5th here from McKeon Park. It's Wareham 3, Hyannis 1. And the right-hander Landon Kelly from the University of Memphis is back on the mound for inning number 5. He'll face Matt McLean, followed by Jacob Teeter and Adrian Del Castillo, the 2-3-4 to lead off the 5th. So McLean, who's 0 for 1 today with a hit-by pitch, digs in from the right side of the box. Righty Kelly puts the glove up to the face, now comes home. Breaking ball, that plunks McLean on the back again. Back-to-back plate appearances and back-to-back hit-by pitches for the UCLA Bruin. That puts him aboard at first base after 1 pitch. And there's nobody out with 1 on for left-handed hitting Jacob Teeter. So McLean on at first base. If you see a right-handed bat for Wareham coming into the ballgame or coming into the box, you almost know it's got to be Matt McLean. Jerry Weinstein has 8 lefties in the lineup today. Much like yesterday, McLean the only righty. Now Chad Gassman's going to call time. Walk out to the mound. This could end Kelly's day. A right-hander getting loose in the bullpen for Hyannis, as the rest of the infield and catcher Hunter Goodman have made their way out to the mound. Gassman's just going to stand there and talk to Kelly for a minute. This could just be to stall time until home plate umpire Ed McAvin makes his way all the way to the mound, and that's exactly what he's going to do. McAvin made his way halfway there. Now he's going to signal his right hand to the bullpen and bring in the right-hander TJ Stewart. So Kelly's day ends after 4+ innings pitched. His line's open as he's responsible for McLean at first. And with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning, Wareham's leading 3-1 at McKeon Park. We'll take a quick break and bring you back in just a moment on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at McKeon Park for the resumption of the top of the 5th inning. And with the right-hander TJ Stewart up on the mound, he's set to face Florida Southern first baseman Jacob Teeter. Landon Kelly goes 4+ innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. His line is currently open as he's responsible for Matt McLean, who has a lead at first. Stewart immediately fires over to first base, but McLean's back standing up. So TJ Stewart, the 6'2", 220-pound right-hander from the University of Manhattan, set to make appearance number 6 with Hyannis this summer. 5 2/3 innings, he's got a 7.94 ERA with 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. The righty out of the stretch comes home. Fastball misses down. His last appearance came 3 days ago out at Doran Park. He went 2/3 of an inning in that one. Gave a 1 earned run on 2 hits. Here he's got the infield playing back. Jackson Olsen, the third baseman, a little bit behind the bag at third. The 1-0. Popped up on the infield right side. Ian Fair and Hunter Goodman giving it a chase, both looking up, and they're going to watch it sail just out of play. Lands on top of the Wareham dugout. So Teeter towers one to the right side of the infield, but just enough mustard on it to avoid having Fair move over to make the grab. Teeter today is a total of 1 for 2. 296 entering this at bat. He's got 2 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Teeter, the right-hander, puts the glove at the belt, comes home. Off speed, misses just down. So Jacob Teeter's certainly had himself quite the summer. Kid who hails from a Division II school, Florida Southern University. But he's defying all odds here on Cape Cod. You'll find stories like that every summer. 2-1. Breaking ball up high. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Teeter's certainly not a big school guy, but he doesn't care. In fact, he said his 2 goals coming into the summer were to 1, stick around and stay on the team, which he's ever so done, and 2, make the All-Star game. He can also check off that box. Was one of 6 Wareham position players to participate in the contest out at Eldridge Park. McLean taking off early. Stewart fires home. And it's a fastball down, ball 4. So Teeter draws the walk as the Florida Southern product trots down to first. Matt McLean was halfway towards second base when Stewart released the baseball. And he's over at second base anyway. So 2 free passes have been issued to the Wareham bats to begin this top of the 5th. 1 from Landon Kelly before his removal, and 1 from TJ Stewart to start his outing. Adrian Del Castillo is now the hitter. He's 0 for 2, looking strikeout and a fly out to left field. Jordan Westberg shaded behind the runner. That's McLean at second. Pitch, squares to bunt and pops it foul just off the screen behind home plate. So Hunter Goodman's going to call time, work out to the mound to have a quick conference with the right-hander TJ Stewart. But Goodman just gives him a quick pat on the back, walks his way back behind the box. 3-1 Wareham the score in the top of the 5th. Gateman struck first with 2 solo shots on the top of the 2nd. 1 from Dallas Beaver, 1 from Zach Mathis. And a sacrifice fly from Ian Fair scored Jackson Olsen back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Hyannis got one back. The 0-1. Breaking ball drops into the zone, make it 0-2. Then Wareham played it another in the 4th. RBI double from Mike Antico, his 6th run batted in of the summer. Scored Matthew Rudick on the base paths. And that's where the score currently sits. 3-1 Gateman. Nobody out here in the 5th. Wind blowing out toward right center. 0-2. At the bottom of the zone, strike 3. Del Castillo fanned. It's the first punch out of the afternoon for the righty TJ Stewart. There's 1 down with 2 on for Dallas Beaver. So Stewart walks the Florida Southern product, Jacob Teeter, and he responds right away. Punches out Del Castillo. He strikes out looking for the 2nd time tonight. Now Dallas Beaver, the hitter. One of the 8 lefties in the lineup, of course. He's 1 for 2 today with that home run. Stewart comes home. Line drive into right field, falling quickly. Down for a base hit. Around third, getting the wave around Matt McLean. He scores from second. Going from first to third, Jacob Teeter. And it's an RBI single for Dallas Beaver. His 2nd run batted in of the day. his 13th RBI of the summer. And that makes it 4-1 Wareham here in the 5th. So Beaver just kind of got one off the end of the bat, gave an inside-out swing, and shot it down the right field line, just pulling it over by Rigsby Mosley, who couldn't come in time. It dropped a few feet in front of him. So Beaver responsible for 2 of the 4 RBIs today. He's on at first base. Runners on the corners for Benjamin Sims. Pitch. He squares to bunt, taps one out in front of the plate, but not before hitting his front leg in the box. That'll be ruled a foul ball. Sims looks over at his head coach, Jerry Weinstein, over in the first base dugout. He'll make his way back to the box, looks back again. Weinstein puts up one finger and then puts it down. So TJ Stewart looking to minimize some damage here in the 5th. The infield has the corners in and the middle back in case of a double play. Westberg and Dunn both shifted a little bit toward the bag. Stewart the stretch in the offering. Sem shows bunt again. He pushes this one down the first base line, fielded by Stewart, throws to first, and it's in time. Sem's out by just a half foot, but it scores the run from third base as Teeter comes in, and it's 5-1 Wareham here in the 5th. So a successful safety squeeze from the left-handed bat, Benjamin Sims. He pushed it the other way from the runner up the first base line. Stewart came off the mound to make the play, but his only option was to go to first base. Beaver moved up to second on the play. Now they'll bring up Matthew Rudick, outfielder from San Diego State, wiggling the bat in front of his back shoulder. Pitch to the lefty, misses down. So Landon Kelly's day is officially closed. The book shut on him as he gives up 4 earned runs on 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 4. Stewart checks the runner, fires home. Line drive into the gap in right center field. This is going to fall quickly and get to the wall. Beaver scoring easily from second. Rudick stopping at second base as he puts on the brakes, and he claps his hands a couple times for an RBI double. It's the 3rd run of the inning for the Wareham Gatemen, and it's 6-1 here in the top of the 5th.
Well, this Wareham Gatemen, you see it time and time again. They've just had Hyannis' number this season, and they've been ever so relentless here in this 5th inning. It was a long 5th inning last night at Spillane, and this offense is not slowing down anytime soon. Another RBI and the 6th run up on the board.
So Rudick stands at second base. That'll bring up Zach Mathis. He's already driven in a run today. He driven himself. Home run out to right field as he watches a fastball low. So only 2 of the runs thus far have been credited to Stewart. He's thrown 2/3 of an inning to this point, and he's looking to get out of the top of the 5th. Wareham scattering runs across the board again. 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 3 here in the 5th inning. The pitch comes in. Heater misses low. Stewart, a guy who likes to flash a fastball breaking ball combo. He's done that here so far. A lot of fastballs that Wareham's jumped all over. Righty comes set and delivers. Foul tip back off the glove of Goodman and toward the backstop. Rudick looks back toward his dugout at head coach Jerry Weinstein. Now he kicks some dirt inside the left-handed batter's box. Taps the plate, puts his right hand to the top of his helmet, and gets into his stance. Stewart, the right-hander, front foot out in front of the other as he fires home, popped up the elevator shaft, but it's going to get out of play. That one gets behind the press box and into the crowd. 2-2 with 2 outs. Mathis today, 1 for 2. Outside of that home run, he flew out to center field and did so fairly deeply. But it wasn't a problem for Rowdy Jordan, who just drifted back to make the grab. 6-1 Wareham, the score in the 5th. As Stewart, the righty, gets set, comes home, breaking ball down, and the count runs full. So 2 7-inning contests will be played today between these two. Cape League regulations for doubleheaders are 7 innings. there's the allowance of 2 extra innings if the game stays tied through 7. But due to a rainout, these teams are playing a double dip here today from McKeon Park. 3-2. Fly ball out to deep center field. Back goes Rowdy Jordan. He's still going. He looks up and it's off the top of the fence. Rudick walks home from second base. Trading places with him, stopping at second, will be Zach Mathis for his second RBI of the day, his second extra base hit of the day. And Wareham is piling it on here in the 5th. It's 7-1.
And Mathis barely missed his second home run of the afternoon by a matter of about 1.5 feet. That was right underneath the blue topping on the wall out there in dead center. It's 394 out there. Not easy to put one on a rope out there like he just did, but Mathis picking up another RBI, and I'm sure he's quite happy with himself after that.
That's the 12th run batted into the summer, or rather the third run batted into the summer for Mathis. Rudick has 11 coming into the day. He made it 12 as the pitch comes into Antico, swing and a miss through a breaking ball. So Rudick, the hitter before Mathis, had the RBI double. That was his 12th RBI of the summer. For Mathis, who came in today with 1, he got that first RBI last night. Single through the left side against Hyannis. Pitch from Stewart. Breaking ball lined right at the first baseman, Ian Fair. He snags it to end the inning. So 8 men come to the plate for the Wareham Gatemen here in the top of the 5th inning. They put up 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We're through 4.5. It's Wareham 7, Hyannis 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th set to get underway from McKeon Park in Hyannis. And the afternoon of Will Fleming ends after 4 innings pitched. With all-star Trent Palmer is going to enter the game from the University of Jacksonville as he fires home the first pitch fastball to Jackson Olsen, down for a ball. Trent Palmer has been an absolute buzzsaw out of the Gateman bullpen this summer as he lifts the hands over the head, comes home. Another heater. That clips the outside corner, 1-1. Palmer making his 7th appearance. He's 1-1 with a 1.72 ERA. He fires home, fastball low and away. 15 2/3 innings pitched so far. Walked 7, struck out 20, and he works very quickly. 1-2. Tapped foul, rather. Now it's going to be 1-2. So Olsen working his way out of the left side of the box, now back in. He wiggles the bat around the zone a couple times. And now time's going to be called with a baseball and a couple ball boys out on the field for Wareham. Now they get back into the dugout. Palmer, the 1-2. Just down low. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Palmer's got an interesting windup. He doesn't raise the legs with the arms. The arms go back and then the legs come up, like it does right here. 3-2. Outside ball 4. Jackson Olsen reaches base for the second time in as many tries. He draws a leadoff walk to put one on with nobody out for Rowdy Jordan. So Olsen's had the best day thus far along with Ian Fair for Hyannis. Fair with a single and a sac fly. Olsen with a double, a run scored, and a walk. Rowdy Jordan, switch hitting outfielder from Mississippi State, digs in from the left side. Righty Palmer goes to the stretch, comes home. Ground ball up over to the shortstop, Sems. He touches the bag at second for one, relay to first, and that's a double play. 6 unassisted to 3 go the Wareham Gatemen as Sems fielded a short ground ball out in front of him at shortstop, stepped on the second base pillow, and fired to first base in time. So 2 down. This will bring up Jordan Westberg in the top of the lineup. Westberg's reached base once on an E6. Palmer goes back to the windup, fires home, breaking ball away. Palmer, one of the 8 All-Stars for Wareham, just one of 2 pitchers along with Ian Bedell. Righty gets the sign, puts the gloves over the head, and fires home, breaking ball for a called strike. Westberg just watches it go by as the count levels. So Palmer threw 2/3 of an inning in the All-Star game. He was about as good as you could ask. Faced 2 batters, struck them both out. Westberg shoots one the other way, over the glove of the first baseman Teeter. It skips into right field. Westberg hits the bag at first, and he picks up a 2-out single in the bottom of the 5th inning. So for Westberg, rack it up to 10 hits in his last 12 games now. The Bulldog just fists one over the head of the first baseman Teeter. Didn't get a whole lot of mustard on it. It was off the handle of the bat, but muscles it out enough into right field for a base hit. Fair now the hitter. He's got a lot of base hits this summer. First offering, popped foul down the right field line, out of play. Fair's already got a single today. With that hit, he's now got base knocks in 14 of his last 15 games. He is on some type of roll. Pitch from Palmer. Off speed, misses downstairs. So Fair with 27 hits this summer. 21 of them for singles. He's got 6 extra base knocks. 5 doubles, 1 triple. As the Northeastern first baseman set in the box, the pitch. Curveball catches the bottom of the zone. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7-1 Gateman the score. Much like last night, Wareham having no issues putting together runs in bunches. A 4 spot in the top of the 5th has them out to a 6-run advantage. The stretch and the pitch, it's called a balk. Field umpire Doug Isham says that the right-hander Trent Palmer didn't quite come set, and Westberg's going to be awarded second base. Palmer can't understand what he did wrong. He's still looking out at Doug Isham. And now first base umpire Joe LaBella saying that's an illegal jerk of the hands. He didn't come set quite long enough as Westberg's awarded second base. So that puts a Hyannis runner in scoring position. The Wareham coaching staff not thrilled about it, but they're just going to kind of deal with it. So Fair back into the box with a 1-2 count. Or 2-2 rather. Palmer fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Fair, and that ends the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Through 5 innings of play, it's Wareham 7, Hyannis 1. And we'll go to the 6th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the sixth we go from McKeon Park. Wareham leading 7-1, and Chad Gassman opts to go to a new arm on the mound and a pretty obscure one. Hyannis now has a position player pitching. It's Rigsby Mosley, who comes in from right field and is set to take the mound facing the top of the Wareham lineup. Couple of defensive changes for Hyannis. Mitch McIntyre replaces Mosley in right, and he'll hit in the DH's spot, so Jared DeSantilo's day will come to an end. The lefty Mosley rocks and fires the first pitch, popped up left side on the infield. Olsen giving chase, moving to his right, and it gets out of play. So Rigsby Mosley taking the mound here in the top of the sixth inning. Ward steps out of the box. He's 0 for 2 today with a walk and a stolen base. Pitch, fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Mosley ahead early. He's spotting up the strike zone as he's got a lefty-lefty matchup on hand with the southpaw hitting Braden Ward. The lefty, the 0-2. Off speed, misses away. Now, Rigsby Mosley's been throwing a couple bullpens the last couple days, clearly to get ready for a situation like this. Doubleheader today. Doubleheader tomorrow. A lot of arms are going to be in need of use. So Chad Gassman's looking to eat a couple with the lefty Mosley. 1-2. Fastball up high. Count runs even. Now, Rigsby Mosley was a two-way guy in high school, and in fact, he was a pretty good pitcher at that. It's 2-2 with the wind blowing out toward right center. The lefty kicks the leg, comes home. Fly ball into left field, easily playable. Hover comes in a bit to his right, and he makes the catch. So one batter, one out recorded for the two-way player now, Rigsby Mosley. One out here in the top of the sixth inning. That'll bring up the one righty in the order, Matt McLean, third baseman from UCLA. For Rigsby, again, he was a two-way player in high school, and he had some looks from some big schools to go and be a pitcher. Florida Gators, Arizona State Sun Devils had some interest in him from the mound as the lefty comes home. Fastball misses down. But he said, you know what? I want to hit. At the very least, I want to go two ways, but I want to hit. So Troy gave him the opportunity to do that, and that's worked out pretty well. Mosley, the next offering, down low, and it makes it 2 balls, no strikes. So much so that Rigsby hit .356 with 28 extra base hits in 2019. 2018, he was named the Sun Belt Player of the Year with 22 extra base hits. Pitched to McLean, called strike at the knees. He had one of the most historic freshman seasons in the program history. But here he is pitching for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as the 2-1 off speed misses down. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. He hasn't thrown an inning in each of his first 2 seasons for Troy. And he hasn't thrown an inning this summer. Mitch McIntyre, the only other position player to pitch. 3-1, popped up in a deep right field. McIntyre going back. He's at the track moving to his right, and he makes the grab. So Matt McLean gives it a long ride onto the gap or onto the warning track in right center field. The wind was blowing it out as well. But Mitch McIntyre, who just came in to take over for Rigsby Mosley, played it perfectly, moving back to the track, then shifting to his right, and he made the catch in the gap. So 2 flyouts for the Troy product Mosley as he's going to face Jacob Teeter. Rigsby the lefty, ready with the pitch. Breaking ball misses away. Now he did throw one inning on the mound back in the Florida Collegiate League 2 summers ago. As the wind's blowing off his jersey, now the 1-0 fastball. That's just downstairs, 2-0. In that 1 inning for Mosley, he gave up 3 hits, didn't give up a run, 1 strikeout. He played for the Altamonte Springs Scorpions. The 2-0 fouled back into the screen. So since entering collegiate play, Rigsby Mosley has thrown just 1 inning on the mound, either in school ball or summer ball. But he's thrown a couple bullpens over the last few days, and he's ready to go. Lefty-lefty matchup as Mosley rocks and fires. 2-1, dots the outside corner. The count moves to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Teeter, meanwhile, has reached base twice. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 7-1 Wareham in the sixth. The 2-2. Breaking ball low and away, and that swells the count. So Mosley's flashed a fastball and breaking ball thus far. As he gets the sign from Goodman, 3-2. Fastball high, and he loses the hitter, Teeter. Teeter draws a walk for the second time in as many tries. He walks down to first base, and that'll bring up Adrian Del Castillo. Now, Del Castillo is one of the few Gateman bats that's been kept off the board so far today. 2 strikeouts and a fly out to left field. Lefty Mosley has the first baseman fair, holding on the runner. Fires home. Fastball down. Infield back. Lucas Dunn shaded just onto the outfield grass in right center. Jordan Westberg back and playing a little bit toward the bag. 1-0. Popped up. Left side. Olsen giving a quick chase, but it's out of play. Mosley will get a new baseball with a 1-1 count. So again, Rigsby Mosley, a guy who bet on himself, and it paid off going to a small school like Troy, and he's absolutely gone off at the plate. 1-1. Popped up. This will get out of play as well behind home plate. I mean, he was 4th in the Sun Belt in average. He was 6th in doubles, 8th in hits in 2019. He didn't need to pitch. But Chad Gassman needs him to here as he's trying to save some arms. Breaking ball, misses down and away. So Rigsby gets the ball, steps back onto the mound after kicking some dirt at the bottom of the rubber. He's ready from the stretch, the 2-2. Pop up, right side. Goodman loses the mask, gives some look to it, but it's going to get out of play as well. So home plate umpire Ed McAvin already out of baseballs. He goes and gets some new ones from the Hyannis ball boy. Throws one back to Mosley on the mound. Slight wind blowing out toward right center. It's calmed down a little bit since a few minutes ago. Mosley's 2-2. Line drive up the middle, takes a hop and skips into center field. Stopping at second base, going station to station is Jacob Teeter. And Adrian Del Castillo picks up his first hit of the day. There's 2 on with 2 outs now in the frame for the new hitter, Dallas Beaver. So Mosley got the first 2 to fly out. Braden Ward did a lofty shot to short left field. And then Matt McClain gave one a ride out to the gap in right center before McIntyre could track it down. So Mosley surrenders his first hit since the summer of 2017. And he's sent to face left-handed catcher Dallas Beaver. Mosley's recorded 19 hits this summer. Continues to work from the stretch, wind blowing off the back of his jersey. Fires home. Fastball, that misses just outside. 7-1 Gateman the score. 8 hits for Wareham, just 3 for Hyannis. As Mosley, the new pitcher, fires home. Popped up left side on the infield. Jackson Olsen shades into foul ground, now moves back to his left in fair play and makes the grab. So Rigsby Mosley, a scoreless inning in the top of the 6th, and that keeps the Gateman Ball Club off the board as he smiles, walking back toward the dugout, exchanging high fives all around. And through 5.5 frames, it's Wareham 7, Hyannis 1. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th after this on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. The 3, 4, 5 hitters are coming to the plate for Hyannis in the bottom of the 6th inning. With all-star right-hander Trent Palmer back on the mound for Wareham, his team securing a 7-1 lead. Trevor Hopper will step into the box from the left side, looking to get something going for the Hyannis offense. Palmer, the right-hander, ready to go. Fires home. Line drive back up the middle. That's going to get into center field. Palmer gave a stab at it with the glove, came up empty, and Trevor Hopper picks up his first hit of the night on the first pitch of the inning. So Hopper aboard at first. He's made it a 1-for-3 day. This will bring up Hunter Goodman. So Palmer's already gotten through an inning of work. Gave up 2 hits. Well, now he's given up 2 hits. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, no runs. Goodman swings away and fouls it straight back off the chest of the catcher, Beaver. He's been pretty effective so far, outside of that Hopper single. Meanwhile, for Hyannis, Rigsby Mosley just got through a scoreless 6th inning. Pitch to Goodman, breaking ball, cut and a wave and a miss. 0-2 with nobody out. Landon Kelly for Hyannis went 4. TJ Stewart gave up 3 runs in his inning of relief. Then Rigsby Mosley threw a scoreless 6th. The stretch in the 0-2 to Goodman. Ground ball right at the second baseman. Mathis flips to second for 1, return to first. That's a double play. 4-6-3 go the Gatemen. It's their second twin killing of the afternoon. And there's 2 down here for Hyannis in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Palmer deletes the base runner Hopper and gets Goodman on the double play. This will bring up Mitch McIntyre. He comes in to hit for Jared DeSanilo in his spot. He took over in right field for Rigsby Mosley, but he's hitting out of the DH spot. So DeSanilo's game ends after going 0-for-2. Offering to McIntyre, that misses low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. McIntyre, the only other position player to pitch so far for Hyannis. He just went last night against Wareham. 1-0. Breaking ball, drops onto the zone, and it evens the count. McIntyre's gone 8 innings this summer. He's got a 2.25 ERA. 5 different appearances he's put up that earned run average. So the pitch comes in. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. McIntyre's been really effective in a relief role. Again, he was always the first or second arm out of the bullpen on Fridays for BYU in his school season. Now the 2-1 comes in. Fly ball, lifted into fairly deep center field. Backtracking Ward, now comes a step in, and he makes the grab. So a quick bottom of the 6th inning as the right-hander Trent Palmer faces the minimum. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We're through 6. It's Wareham 7, Hyannis 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the 7th we go from McKeon Park. Rigsby Mosley back on the mound for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, set to face the 6, 7, 8 of Benjamin Sims, Matthew Rudick, and Zach Mathis. Lefty's ready to go as he fires in the first pitch. It's spoiled foul out of play. And another defensive change for Hyannis. Hunter Goodman comes out of the game And with that comes catcher Joe Sullivan. Local kid from Sandwich High School, plays his college ball at LaSalle. He's back behind the plate catching for Rigsby Mosley, who fires home a breaking ball high. So here's a battery a lot of fans probably never thought they'd see this summer. Mosley on the mound. Joe Sullivan behind the plate. Kid who spent a few summers as the Hyannis bullpen catcher. As Mosley comes home with a fastball high. Sullivan spent a good chunk of his summer out in the Futures League with the Brockton Rocks. He got an appearance and an at-bat last night in Wareham. Pitch from Mosley. Popped up the elevator shaft. Sullivan's not even going to give it a look as he watches it get out of play. So Mosley gets a new baseball. Sullivan just kind of gave it a quick turn, and he saw it was going to get over the screen. Sems today, 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. Now the 2-1 from Mosley. Ground ball right back out to the mound. Rigsby fires cleanly, spins, throws to first in time. 1-3 put out to begin the top of the 7th, and Sems is retired today. That'll bring up Matthew Rudick. Rudick reached base twice. An RBI doubled back in his last trip to the plate. Also was hit by pitch and scored a run back in the 4th. So another lefty-lefty matchup. Rigsby Mosley on the mound. LaSalle product and local kid Joe Sullivan behind the plate. As Mosley's ready, rocks and fires. Fouled back off the screen. So Rigsby Mosley threw a scoreless inning back a frame ago. Gave up just 1 hit. He left 2 on base after walking Teeter as well. But he goes into the motions, the 0-1. It's a heater up high, and the count evens up. So Wareham scattered those runs across the board today. Their big inning, the top of the 5th, where they plated 4. Now the 1-1. Line drive into short left field. Hover charging in, slides and makes the grab. Nice play by Trevor Hover. Read it perfectly. Gave a healthy slide and made the nice catch to make it the 2nd out of the inning.
That's a nice play from Hover, and he doesn't make that without the good read off of the bat. It was a slap shot into left, and Rudick just got enough of it to get it in the air to left, and Hover with a nice read to come in and slide and hit the deck.
So 2 down here for Hyannis in the top of the 7th inning. Wareham's got 2 outs. Rigsby Mosley's retired the first 2. As he delivers out of the windup, the pitch to the new hitter, Zach Mathis, misses low and away. So Mosley's thrown an inning and 2/3 scoreless thus far. Wind still blowing out toward right center a little bit. As Sullivan gives him the sign, Rigsby comes home. It's popped foul to the left side. That'll find the seats. Mathis is 2 for 3 today. A pair of extra base hits. Home run in the 2nd. RBI double in the 5th that was inches away from being home run number 2 of his day. Now the 1-1. Pop up down the left field line. This is going to find the top of the hill as well. So 1-2 with 2 outs. Wareham leading 7-1. The left-handed hitting Mathis back into the box as the lefty Mosley fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Rigsby Mosley, and make it 2 scoreless frames for the Troy outfielder. That ends the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Rigsby Mosley gets handshakes and hugs from everybody around the dugout, smiles and laughs everywhere. As Hyannis will go to the bottom of the 7th, trailing by 6. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the home half of the 7th we go. Lucas Dunn leading things off for Hyannis. Right-handed bat in the 6th spot, set to face Trent Palmer. The righty quickly comes home. It's a breaking ball for a called strike. So the first game of the doubleheader, just 3 outs away from ending as Wareham has a 7-1 lead. The 0-1, off speed, same spot on the outside corner, and quickly it's 0-2. So with the doubleheader, a 7-inning game here that started at 3 p.m. as Palmer comes home. It's an inside fastball that brushes Dunn off the plate. Then there will be another 7-inning game about 45 minutes after the conclusion of this one. 1-2. Ground ball, left side. Gets through the 5-6 gap, a base hit. McLean can't make the play. That skips into left field. Lucas Dunn picks up his first hit of the night. There's a man on board to start the bottom of the 7th. So just a C&I single for Lucas Dunn. Didn't hit it too hard. A high chopper through the left side of the infield. And McLean couldn't make the play. One defensive change for Wareham, as Chad Stevens, the infielder from Portland, has come in to play shortstop. Rigsby Mosley now the hitter as he swings and misses through the first pitch. So now, Brendan, we can officially say Rigsby Mosley looking to help himself out on the mound. He's thrown 2 scoreless. Now he's getting a chance to hit. The 0-1, down low, and the count evens at 1-1.
And isn't that a funny line to say? It's been a couple summers since Rigsby's been on the hill. He threw 1 inning in the Futures League like you touched upon a little bit ago, Lyle, but trying to help his own cause.
So 1-1 with Dunn getting a lead. Pitch to Rigsby Mosley. Fastball right at the bottom of the zone. 1-2. So again, Mosley threw that 1 inning for the Altamonte Springs Scorpions 2 summers ago. 1-2. Ground ball hit to the second baseman. Mathis moves to his left, fires to second for 1 in time. Nice play from the second baseman, Zach Mathis, who had to move to his left, make the play, fielded it glove side, and made a spin and a long throw back to the shortstop Stevens covering second. And that was the only play for the first out.
That's a much tougher play than it looks. And on first contact, you would think that Mathis had to play to first base to teeter as his body was moving that way, but able to plant and spin and make a solid throw to the second base covering by Stevens.
So Jackson Olsen now the hitter. He watches a breaking ball dot the bottom of the zone. Score that play, it's 4-6 fielder's choice if you're keeping score at home. Rigsby Mosley now aboard at first as Dunn was a race going to second. 0-1. Chopper right side. Is it going to stay fair? Just fielded in fair ground by the first baseman Teeter. He steps on the bag. So Olsen retired. He just scooted one up the first base line that stayed just fair. Teeter moved over to the bag, put his foot on the pillow, and made the grab going down, reaching down to make the play, while having that foot on the bag for the second out. So runner moves up to second. That's Rigsby Mosley. Now Hyannis down to their final out of the game in the form of Rowdy Jordan. He represents the last hope. Breaking ball. Drops down to the knees. It's 0-1. Trent Palmer has been a buzzsaw out of the bullpen all summer for Wareham. No exception today. 2 2/3 scoreless up to this point. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball, same spot, and the count runs to 0-2. Wareham sitting at a record of 20-17-1. They took down Hyannis 9-1 last night. Now they're a strike away here in game 1 of the doubleheader. 0-2. Grounded back to the mound. Backhanded by Palmer, moving to his right, throws to first. Ball game over. Wareham wins it by a final score of 7-1. They move to 21-17-1 on the summer and take down Hyannis for the 5th time in 2019. So, Brendan, just kind of a tough one for Hyannis. Not a whole lot of offense going. It was kind of the same story as last night.
Wareham's pitching staff has gotten the better of Hyannis a couple of days in a row now. Last night, Hyannis, of course, only putting up 1 in the 9-1 defeat. Here in game 1, 7-1 the final, and William Fleming was just as good as advertised and pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, just 1 run. It wasn't even earned. So for Fleming, a solid start, and then Trent Palmer coming in behind him, shutting the door on Hyannis. But beauty about baseball, about doubleheaders, in fact, is another chance coming up in just about 45 minutes. So for Hyannis, a tough one to swallow, but for Wareham, helps them out in their playoff hopes. So we'll see what Hyannis has in store coming up later on tonight.
So after a 7-inning contest, Wareham wins 7-1, moving to 21-17-1 on the season. Hyannis drops the contest. They'll move to 7-31-1. The lines for each team: for the winning road Wareham Gatemen. 7 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, while Hyannis puts up 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. That'll do it for us for now, but stick around. In just about 45 minutes, Game 2 will be set for play from McKeon Park, as Hyannis and Wareham will each be set for their 40th games of the summer. We'll have that right here in just a short bit on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.